Have you ever tried to buy concert tickets online? You prepare for weeks, you have 10 browser tabs open, you click the button the second it goes live, only to end up in a virtual queue with 200,000 people ahead of you. You end up screaming at a loading screen, wondering how you're supposed to compete with a million other people in what feel like their personal robot armies. It's a great time. Or maybe you've had a simpler, more humbling experience. Have you ever just tried to buy a carton of eggs and stood there in the refrigerated aisle looking at the price and seriously considered if you needed to take out a small personal loan for your morning omelet? It feels completely absurd. One is a dazzling, once-in-a-lifetime 3-hour musical spectacle. The other is breakfast. So how on this green earth can they end up costing the same amount of money? The answer is the single most powerful and surprisingly simple rule in all of economics. And to understand it, we don't need a PhD from Harvard. We don't even need to go to Wall Street. We just need to visit a middle school bake sale. Meet Chloe. Chloe makes legendary chocolate chip cookies. I'm talking a secret family recipe. Perfect ratio of chocolate to dough. An absolute masterpiece. But she's only one person, and she only had time to bake 12, 12 cookies. That's it. This is our supply. It's simply how much of a thing is available to be sold. Meanwhile, this is our demand. It's how many people want to buy the thing. And right now, with 200 hungry students who've heard tales of Chloe's cookies, demand is huge. So, what happens? Chloe's $1 cookies are gone in less than 10 seconds. It's a feeding frenzy. But it doesn't stop there. A kid who was fast enough to get one immediately turns around and sells it for $5 to someone who missed out. That person sells it for $10. This is scarcity in action. When way more people want something than there is of that thing, the price doesn't just go up, it skyrockets. The value is no longer about the cost of flour and sugar, it's about the intensity of the desire. It's that simple. But let's imagine a different scenario. What if Chloe got a little too ambitious? She got an industrial mixer for her birthday. She baked 500 cookies. Now she has a huge supply, a surplus even. But the demand is the same. After the first 100 kids get their cookie, nobody else is hungry. To get rid of the rest, she has to drop the price. 50 cents, 25. Please, just take one. My mom wants the kitchen table back. When there's way more of something than people want, the price collapses. So let's lock this in. This is the fundamental law. The entire global economy, from barrels of oil to shares of Apple to that weird lamp at the thrift store, runs on this dance. When supply is low and demand is high, price goes up. And when supply is high and demand is low, price goes down. It is the core operating system of our financial world. Okay, back to our original mystery. Let's start with Taylor Swift. The supply of tickets is fixed, and it is incredibly low. A stadium only has 50 or 60,000 seats. That's a hard physical limit. But the demand is astronomical. It's global. Millions upon millions of fans who have a deep emotional connection to the music, all fighting for a handful of spots. It's the school bake sale scarcity problem, but scaled up to the size of a planet. Low supply, insane demand. The result? Prices that make your eyes water. Now for the eggs. For years, the egg market was the definition of boring and stable. The supply, from millions of chickens, easily met our steady demand. But then, disaster struck. A massive, devastating outbreak of avian flu wiped out a huge portion of the chicken population. Suddenly, the supply of eggs fell off a cliff. But our demand for eggs didn't really change. We still needed them for omelets, for baking cakes, for a cheap source of protein. So what happened? Stable demand, but a sudden, massive collapse in supply. The price shot through the roof. The reason for the scarcity was different. One was a stadium's architecture, the other a biological catastrophe. But the economic result was exactly the same. They became a scarce good that many people wanted.